Okay, here we go. This episode is about books on love. I still think that love exists. I've always been a romantic, but the realist in me tells me that if love exists, it is extremely rare and it's involuntary. Like, nobody chooses to fall in love, and it happens regardless. I also believe that codependency is a part of it. And by codependency, I mean we need each other. We're dependent on each other. To be clear, you need me and I need you. It's equivalent exchange. That is why it is such a rare occurrence when two people love each other. And that's also why people who are in love have brain chemistry that looks very similar to people that are addicted to crystal meth. They're compelled to each other the same way that I'm compelled to bite my nails. I know that it's illogical. I'm more than aware that it doesn't make sense that I bite my nails. It doesn't help me. There's no nutritional value in my nails. And yet I still feel this need to do so. And people who are in love, they have that same need and they can't rationalize it or wish it away. We just can't choose what we want. And on that long-winded note, I'm going to go ahead and start this book list. First up, I'm going to recommend The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm. This book is a mix. It's a mix of practical advice and new age thoughts on different kinds of love, friendship love, sisterly love, brotherly love, and obviously romantic love. And to quote directly from the book, to love means to commit one's self without guarantee, to give oneself completely in the hope that our love will produce love in the loved person. And that is probably one of the clearest definitions I've ever heard on the subject, and it's why it's number one on my list of recommendations. Next, we have The Seducer's Diary by Soren Kierkegaard. It makes me think of the movie 500 Days of Summer. For anyone who hasn't seen it, the narrator starts it off by saying, "This is a story about love, but this is not a love story." And I think that is the perfect synopsis for this novel. It's written beautifully and it's very thoughtful, and I considered it a necessary read for any romantics out there. Next on the list is A General Theory of Love by Thomas Lewis. It's written with notes and studies from a bunch of scientists and doctors. It's essentially a textbook on love's effects on the brain and the body. And it's one I recommend to any pragmatic person out there who's interested in love or seeking a relationship. It's very clear-cut, academic, straightforward language, and I recommend it to any realist. And the next book on the list is True Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's written by a famous Buddhist monk. He writes about the impossibility of possessing anyone that you love and how pain is a necessary part of the human existence if you want to experience joy. I think a metaphor from the book would be something like, you can't enjoy the rainbow without a little rain. The next book I have here is Sex at Dawn by Chris Ryan. And it's a counterculture perspective on human nature. And as the provocative title suggests, the main focus of the book is on sex and potentially why we have it for more than just reproduction. There's plenty of interesting and upsetting ideas about love, jealousy, and attachment that I think warrant a read through and a discussion. Next up, for a conservative take on those same ideas, there's The Case Against the Sexual Revolution by Louise Perry. Today, dating is not just looked at as courtship for marriage and children. In our civilization, it's looked at as entertainment, and people are disposable and easily replaced. And Perry does a great job pointing out the pitfalls of that logic and mapping out how we got here. She's done podcast appearances talking about her book that are worth listening to as well. And that concludes my book report. For anybody who's been in love and heartbroken, I wanted to understand how and why I got to this terrible place in my mind. Similar to an MRI scan on the body showing what exactly is hurting, these books provided clarity and understanding to me. As I wrap this up, I am thinking of a line from Oscar Wilde. Some love too little, some too long. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll consider any or all of these books for a read. Have a good day.